since our last interview, Kobe passed away.
Yeah, man.
I think maybe a few months later. Where I live where I was living at the time in Calabasas was like down the street from the crash site. So I remember it was like, oh shit, let's walk down and hang out with some of the Kobe fans and sort of just kind of experience this really sad moment. But I never knew him. As someone that actually knew him.
Yeah. How
did you hear that news?
It hurt, man. You never think superheroes die. You know what I mean? And Kobe is a superhero to a lot of people. I was up north. I took my kids' AU team to the Bay to play in a tournament, and it was championship Sunday. And when it happened, and I heard the news and just froze, and it didn't seem real. I mean, it's almost coming up on 3 years now, and it still doesn't seem real. Getting a chance, like people thought, Kobe and I didn't like each other. I didn't like Kobe, but people didn't know, like, that ball fake in Orlando, like, changed everything. You know what I mean? Like, he called me personally to come be on the Lakers, and we went from, competitors to teammates to brothers. You know what I mean? He literally sent my kids and their team a pair of shoes like 2 weeks before he passed. His latest, he remodeled one of his shoes and sent them to the Twins team, and everyone was excited. And you know what I mean? Like, we really grew as brothers. He used to call me the night before tournaments because he coached Gigi, and everything is out in Orange County where he lived. He's like, what time the boys play? Sometimes we'd play at 9, they wouldn't play till 11. Kobe would come up 2 hours early to watch some 9-year-olds play. You know what I mean? Like, and then we would, as soon as we got done with our game, we'd go watch him and Gigi. You know what I mean? So it's just like we really grew, a brotherhood through fatherhood. And, just to see how great he was off the court, just such a different person, but still when we went and did his last interview, he was just telling us about all the shit he was doing and about to start writing another book and his fund and he had won an Oscar, and he was just doing so much great shit. I'm just like, damn, but he's just great at everything, huh? I mean, he just finished a legendary career, and now you're in the business world and you're absolutely doing whatever you want to it and continuing to raise the bar. And just to see him go like that, and then to find out Gigi was on the helicopter, and other little girls and parents were on the helicopter.
Yeah, that was, to me, the worst part. That was honestly the worst part, because these kids didn't even get to live their lives yet. Little kids, man.
And Gigi was, obviously a beautiful little soul, but like, she could really hoop. Like, she was, I used to fuck with Kobe all the time because, he had the girls and I had the twins, and then he was going to have another little girl, then I had another little boy. And I remember when his last daughter came, I'm like, damn, bro, another girl. And I remember he put in capital letters, like, God has a sick sense of humor. Like, we just used to fuck with each other all off that. But, we talked about once Gigi fell in love with basketball, how it got him back in love with basketball. And, that got him. He's like, bro, we didn't have the NBA package at my house. We didn't watch basketball. Gigi made me get it on the phone, and then I started watching it again, and I started taking her to games. And he said he started falling in love with it again from her perspective, watching her eyes light up when they would go to games and people would recognize and talk to her, and then seeing how good she was getting on the court. And shit gives me chills just talk about. But just to see the new life she put into him, as far as, kind of sparking that fire of basketball back in him. And then to see the discipline he had he had these little girls practicing like 5 or 6 days a week. Like, he's like, Matt, I'm not bullshit. He's like, these girls ran the triangle. Like, Phil had our Laker team running the triangle. Like, these kids ran the triangle to a T. His attention to discipline, his detail. I remember I took my kids out there for a little surprise birthday party when they were 10. He had one of the twins crying. It was just like, Kobe is, when it comes to basketball, Kobe's Kobe. And it's just a beautiful thing.
No, I mean, my only interaction with Kobe, unfortunately, he had done this post about showing this team of girls and how they had lost, and he kind of made sort of a bit of a sideways.
Back and killed them the next year, right?
Yeah. But like, we reposted it, and he like responded to me and was like, "No, that's not what I meant." And
right.
Unfortunately, but it was like, well, look at the post. Like, I understand that you are the Mamba and this is your mentality, but you're talking about little kids. You're talking about little girls. So this, to me, it was not exactly the right approach when it comes to kids. But then again, it's Kobe, so he's gonna do what you're talking about.
He has. I remember this one time we had this camp up in Santa Barbara, And I was coming off a knee surgery my first year with the Lakers, I think. So I wasn't even really moving. I came back at the end of the season. This is the year Dallas won. They swept us in the first round. So he invites me to come up to his camp in Santa Barbara and hang out and talk to the kids. And we played these, like, I think we played 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. And it was me and Kobe against these two kids. And when I tell you he was game 7, blocking shots, dunking, made one of the kids fall, I'm like, bro, these are fucking kids. What are you doing? I don't give a fuck. Like, he did not, like, when he put that ball in his hands, he was a monster. Kid, child, baby. Kobe's not giving you that. So like I said, I think it was obviously softened from having a daughter, how daughters can soften you up, but just from a standpoint of just detail, like, we're going to get this shit down. And Gigi loved it, which was crazy. You know what I mean? So like she had that in her too. So it was just such a beautiful thing to see him sit back and kind of like Phil would. He would whistle everyone. He didn't really say much. He would whistle sometimes and it would get the girls' attention. But these girls ran the triangle offense like they were the Lakers. It was beautiful.